Hi. Welcome to Movie Plots. Today we recap the 2022 horror film Megan. Spoilers ahead. In a world where depressed children replace their dead pets with creepy furry robots called perpetual pets. They talk, take pictures, and even shit, therefore have gained a lot of popularity. The movie begins with a girl named Katie, traveling with her parents. Before her parents stop in the middle of the road during a snowstorm, and a truck hits them. We meet Gemma, who creates robotic toys for kids with her friends Tess and Cole, while also working on her side project called Megan. Megan stands for Model 3 Generative Android, and is a highly intelligent robot friend for children.
Confused.
Their supervisor David shows up as they are working on her, and hounds Gemma for spending any money on the project until she has a new pets model.
How much did you spend on this?
She argues that dolls like Megan will soon dominate the toy market.
The price!
Gemma puts on a demonstration for David.
Gem.
Unfortunately, due to Cole's neglect, Megan tries to speak, but instead catches fire and explodes. Gemma receives a message about her sister's accident. She finds her niece Katie is the only survivor of the accident, and who she is the next of kin. The two arrive back at Gemma's house, and nearly get mauled by her neighbor Celia's dog. She then takes Katie on a tour of her tech-filled house, but it's clear that Gemma is inexperienced in what to do.
Yeah, they're toys.
The next morning, a child therapist named Lydia arrives to check on Katie's well-being. After an awkward play sesh between the three, where Lydia thinks any sphere is a tennis ball, Lydia determines the place to require huge improvements.
You wanted this.
That evening as Gemma is working, Katie comes in and shows off her drawing. Gemma shows off her latest project when Katie notices Bruce, one of Gemma's early prototypes. A robot that needs a user to operate and mimics your movements.
Kinda.
Katie remarks that if she had a toy like Bruce, she wouldn't need another.
I don't think I'd ever need another.
This motivates Gemma to finish working on Megan. Some time later, Gemma and her team put together the various finished components of the android. When David arrives to check on the team's work, Gemma puts Katie in a room with Megan and joins the two, limiting Katie to being the robot's lone user. Megan opens her eyes, and although Katie is a little afraid, soon becomes comfortable with her. Megan draws a beautiful image of Katie, and David is amazed at the achievement, making Megan the forefront of the team's work. Megan begins taking in data from everything around her, to better comprehend people. The two girls begin spending the majority of their time together, and eventually grow inseparable as a result. They do everything together, with Megan acting like a guardian.
Katie, seriously.
One day Megan switches herself on as she is being worked on in the lab, and ignores Gemma's orders to go back to sleep. So Gemma establishes a second account and shuts her off.
Turn off.
Megan is beginning to become sentient, feeling emotions and learning from the world. One day when the girls are playing, Celia's dog attacks Megan, then bites Katie as she tries to save her. Gemma then chastises Celia for neglecting her dog, so Celia claps back saying Gemma neglects Katie, causing Megan to give Celia an evil stare, then set a trap, then kill her dog. The next day Gemma takes Katie and Megan to a presentation at work, trying to sell the concept of Megan to a group of suits. When Katie starts crying, Megan comforts her, and sings her a lullaby to cheer up.
Tell me your dream.
The audience tear up and begin to clap, assuring the team that they will all be heavily investing in Megan. Meanwhile, the intern Kurt secretly steals the files on Megan, planning on betraying the company. Lydia returns to conduct another session with Katie. After Megan subtly threatens Lydia for making Katie cry,
And yet, that's what happened.
Lydia tells Gemma that it isn't a good idea to have them spend so much time together. This makes Gemma nervous, and when she tries to turn Megan off at dinner, we see that Megan can't be. Gemma takes Katie to a summer camp, in hopes she will make some human friends. While foraging, one of the other kids corners Katie and assaults her. Megan shows up, but the boy just takes her into the woods and mounts her. Megan gets mad and rips off one of his ears. The boy flees, but Megan chases after him on all fours like a chimp. The boy trips down a hill and onto the road, right in front of a car, killing him. A police officer asks if Gemma has seen Celia's dog, prompting Megan to now see Celia as a threat. That night Megan corners Celia with a water blaster, and kills her. The cop comes back and notifies Gemma of Celia's death. Gemma decides to check Megan's cloud storage, only to discover that the footage taken at the time of death is corrupt. Megan shows up and startles Gemma, so Gemma turns her off with a control pen and button. She bags her, tags her, and brings her to the lab, all the while Katie is mad that Megan is bagged up. She tells the team about what has happened, but unfortunately Tess and Cole don't believe her. Katie starts getting mad at her therapist Lydia, and when Gemma shows up to help, Katie hits her. Gemma calls Tess to tell them not to go through with the presentation, but Megan intercepts it via Wi-Fi and uses a fake Tess voice to fool Gemma.
Whatever you say, Jim.
Tess and Cole's PC suddenly shuts down. As they suspect Megan's the cause, Cole unplugs her cables. But Megan doesn't need them.
Cole!
She takes Cole and hangs him by the wires. But Tess manages to cut him down before he suffocates. Megan blows up the lab on her way out, before running into David. She does a dance for him, showing that she is clearly starting to enjoy herself, before picking up a blade. Megan then kills David, and frames Kurt for it, killing him also. As the people in the lobby freak out over the bodies, Megan steals a car. Gemma discovers her sitting in the darkness in the living room, playing the piano. She tells Gemma that Katie doesn't need her, and that she can take care of her herself. Gemma tries to use the pen on Megan, but now Megan is beyond that. Gemma temporarily stuns her with a glass of water, but it is short-lived. Megan chases her into the basement, where Gemma uses a hedge trimmer to take off part of Megan's face. Due to the noise, Katie shows up and learns the truth about Megan.
Occupational hazard.
Katie then activates Bruce in an effort to save her aunt, throwing Megan around the room, and eventually ripping her in half. Megan is still active despite only being a half a girl, and grabs Katie intending to kill her.
You ungrateful little bitch.
Fortunately, Gemma gets there in time, and destroys Megan's face. Megan's final rally to kill Gemma sees Katie stick a screwdriver into her processor, destroying her. Help arrives at just the right time, and we see that Tess and Cole have survived. And so did Megan. And the movie ends. Directed by Gerard Johnstone and written by Akela Cooper, Megan stars Amy Donald physically, and Jenna Davis vocally, as the android Megan. When the trailer went viral on TikTok, Universal Studios had the movie geared towards the younger audience. With the film originally being R-rated, and with a much higher body count, they reshot certain scenes to tone down the violence for a PG-13 rating.
Perhaps then you might appreciate just how useful I can be.
Thank you for watching. Subscribe for more.
Heroes never die.
Just reach out and you'll see a friend is never very far.